is the logic and inverse practice, and we're looking at number 4. Assume or not assume is kind of what we're saying. Is that statement true? Is it false? Or can we just not determine yet because we don't have enough information? Okay, VWT, sometimes it helps to have highlighters, but you have to use this diagram over and over, don't you? Plus RWS is greater than 180. You add those two angles together. You add this angle together with this angle, and your answer is greater than 180. True, false, or cannot determine? Well, you know what? I can determine because this is 180 right here. There is no way I can add those angles together and get more than 180 because I'm locked in. I have that constraint of that straight angle, RWV. So this one is not true, and it's not cannot determine. That one is false. Okay? Next one. The measure of angle SWV minus UWV is less than 95. Okay, here's the deal. What do we know about angle SWV? What do we know about it? Nothing. We know it's less than 180. We know it's greater than 0. We know it's somewhere between 0 and 180. We cannot assume it's obtuse. Cannot assume it's a certain degree, right? Good point. No protractors on this one. Good point. There are times when we use a protractor, and there's times when a diagram is just a diagram, and it's not always to scale. So sorry about that. Since we don't know a lot about SWV, and quite honestly, we don't know much about UWV, we really want to think that when we subtract those, it's going to be less than 95. But you know what? I mean, that angle could be a right angle. That angle could be 96 degrees. We don't know. So cannot determine. Okay, number 17. Now, I gave you the hypothesis. If DBA and ABF are supplementary angles. So let's look at our picture. We don't really need our picture for this one, actually. Okay. Now, when you're given a hypothesis, you assume that it's true. You're not deciding whether those are supplementary. You're saying they are supplementary. What can we conclude from that? Like, if you give a mouse a cookie, he's going to ask for a glass of milk. Like, that's the logical conclusion. If two angles are supplementary, what does that mean? Yes, then their measures equal 180. So the measure of angle DBA plus the measure of angle ABF equals 180. And why does it equal 180? You have to back up your evidence. In court, you don't just say someone's guilty because you have a gut feeling. You back it up with evidence. So we need evidence, and we have some. It is called the definition of supplementary. That is the evidence. That's how you back up the fact that supplementary means adds up to equal 180. We're not doing proofs yet. So there is no supplementary theorem. Now, there is, we learned the theorem, there is the linear pair theorem, but that doesn't apply here because the hypothesis said nothing about linear pair. Had the hypothesis mentioned linear pair, we might have gone in that direction, okay?